Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going through the top 10 players for myself so far in the NBA this season. We're just under halfway through the season, so I think it's a good judge for the first part of it and just giving you guys my top 10. I do have 4 honourable mentions to go through before though. Um, but before we get into it, I just want to say I'm going to be start uploading regularly again, so just keep an eye out for that. I'm on break the next week, but I've got 3 videos scheduled, so they should be coming up. You'll be seeing this Monday. There should be another one Wednesday and another one Friday. But anyway, let's start it off with the honorable mentions. So kicking it off first, I do have Kyrie Irving as my first honorable mention of the Brooklyn Nets. He's averaging 26, 5 and 5 pretty much on nice splits as well. 48 from the field, 36 from 3. The reason why Kyrie isn't in the top 10 simply because he's not the best player on his team. And I'd like to see him do a bit more for the Nets. I know obviously he's playing second fiddle, but now that KD's out, it seems Kyrie's kind of like slumped. His first game without KD, he dropped like 15. He had a bad game, which I guess it happens, but we need to see him take a bit more control now. I know he was out with a shoulder injury. It just seems every time KD's out, Kyrie's out. But really, that's not what the Nets need. We need to have Kyrie in there and sort of showing that he can elevate to that MVP level. Talent that we know he has, he's just not displaying it. Alright, so my next honourable mention is Kawhi Leonard. He's just come back from his ACL injury and he's not looked great. I mean, efficiency's dropped from 3 and from the field. Defensively, he's been pretty good, but again, his production's dropped. He's taken a lot more rest days. He's only averaging about 20 points per game. But hopefully, I mean, coming off an injury like that, you would expect something like this, but let's hope it's not a permanent production drop. And I just think we haven't seen enough of him playing at top tier level to put him in with the 10 guys I have in front of him. So yeah, Kawhi Leonard is the next of the honorable mentions. Now the next player I have is arguably the most improved player this season. I've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's averaging like 31 a game right now. Now, the reason why I can't put him in the top 10 is because the Thunder aren't doing much. They're not pushing for playoffs. They're not pushing for anything really. But in the half season he's played, he's been absolutely phenomenal. He's taken that jump now to a megastar pretty much. He just needs to win now. And I think the Thunder need to build a team around him to where they can win, because if they don't, it's going to be seen as kind of empty stats, kind of like Brad Beal was. Like, we know he was averaging like 32, but they weren't winning. I don't want the same for Shai because I feel like he genuinely can be one of the greater guards of this generation coming. So yeah, but I just can't put him in the top 10 right now because of his team success. It's pinning him back a little bit. And the fact that he's taking 20 shots a game too. The Thunder really got to fix that for him to kind of elevate. There's nothing really he can do now. It's kind of up to the team. And the last honourable mention I have is Damian Lillard. Kind of similar to Shai. I mean, the Blazers aren't having a bad season. It's just, I don't think they're very competitive as they were for like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I can't see them doing conference finals runs or anything like that anymore. They just don't have the talent. I mean, they've traded away CJ. In 32 games, he's averaging 29 points, which is good for him. But I think he does just need to get out of there. 45 from the field, 36 from 3. But again, they're just not winning enough. And everyone having this top 10 that we're going to go through now are majoritively on winning teams or completely undeniable. So let's dive into this top 10 right now. Now, I know it's getting really hard with the amount of talent we have in the NBA to list everyone in their correct place. So what I'm going to say is number 10 to number 6, they can go any order, but my order is the way I feel about it. And the same with 5 to 1. They can go any order. I'd say 4 to 1 actually can go any order. But let's jump into it. We have John Morant at number 10. He's averaging 27, 8 and 6. He's shooting really good this season from the field. Three's kind of dropped a bit, but the reason why he's breached the top 10 over the other guards that we've just previously mentioned is because he is the best player on the second seeded team in the West. They're half a game out from the first seed. The Grizzlies look great this year. Let's just hope that in the playoffs they can really go out and make some noise. But I think Ja really has deserved the right to be called a top 10 player. I can't put him above anyone else on this list, which is why I think number 10 is bang on where he should be for now. Now at number 9, I have a pretty controversial one. I've got Joel Embiid at number 9. Now, here's my reasoning behind this, right? So, because we've had Embiid as like a top 6-7 player for like the past 2 or 3 seasons, but he's not managed to do anything, right? He averaged 30 last year, he's averaging 33 this year, and they're just early exit after early exit after early exit. I mean, in the regular season, he's great. He's playing majority games. He's looking like a beast this year, MVP runner for sure. But it's just not translating to the postseason, and that factors into where I can rank you on this list. I feel like every player above him on this list has had far more playoff success than him, and for where they are, like what teams they are, what's around them, they've had a lot better success with worse teams, if that makes sense. I mean, Joel Embiid will always be a great regular season player, undoubtedly, but I think I just devalue him a little bit because of his success. I mean, he's still got time. He's 28 years old, entering his prime. He's still got time to become a solid top 5 player in this league. But as I have it now, these 8 guys, I can't put him over them. At number 8, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Donovan Mitchell, Mr. 71. Now, I've got him at 8. He's averaging 28 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. But the way he's impacted this Cleveland team is what has got him into this top 8 and why I've put him above Embiid. Simply because, I mean, he's dragged this team from the bottom of the conference to the 5 seed. In a loaded East, he's 5.5 games out of top seed, which is a game and a half difference from what the 2 seed is. Just the way he's changed the culture, the effect he's had, and the fact that he's the number 1 option on this team and successful is what puts him in the top 8. I think at the start of the season, I would have had him maybe around a 15 or an honourable mention area. But the way he's played this season, it's very clear to me that I've got to put him 8 right now. Now, number 7, a very, very controversial take with this one. I think if anyone's going to argue, it's going to be with this and my top 4. So, number 7, I've got Jason Tatum. Now, people will say this is too low or he should be higher. But I can't put him above the next 6 guys. I'm not ready to do that yet. I don't think he's got there yet. I think maybe if he would have beaten Golden State in the past finals, then yes, he would be top 5. I'd be able to knock a few guys down. But I think he will be a top 5, potentially even the best player in the league one day. But for now, he has to be at number 7. I think he's going to be great. He's having a great season. I think the Celtics are going to have a great postseason. They're the number 1 seed right now by they're 4 games clear of Milwaukee. He's averaging 31. He's an MVP candidate. I'd like for him to. I can see him winning it, to be honest. Now that Kevin Durant's out, um, the only other player I'd really put in there, Embiid and Jokic. But I think Jason Tatum is the front runner. He's my front runner for the MVP right now. And yeah, the reason why I've got him at 7 again, I just I can't put him over the other 6 right now. These guys are very, very higher end players, I guess you can say. But again, as I said at the start, I can see like from number 6 to number 10 in any order. I think the top 5 is the top 5. But 6 to 10, I'd agree with any other order besides mine. But this is my personal take. At number 6, I have the wonder boy himself, Luka Doncic. Right now, he's leading the NBA in scoring. He's probably going to take the scoring title if he continues to play the way he's playing. He's averaging 34, 9, and 9, pretty much. Luka, he can't. Maybe last year he would have been top 5, but I can't because of his team success. I can't do it. I can't do it. I mean, the Mavs right now, they're 5th in the West, which isn't bad, but you can tell he just needs help. The Mavs need to fix up. Luka needs to be a bit more free, a little bit less pressure on him. I think if he had a true running mate, like a true top 20 player playing alongside him, one, they'd win more, and 2, he'd definitely be higher up in this list. But based on team success and stuff like that, he's got to be 6. He's shooting great this season as well. He's had a little dip on the defensive end, but he's never really been a defensive player, as we know. But yeah, Luka Doncic at number 6. At number 5, we have Nikola Jokic. He's the number 1 player on the number 1 seed right now. In the West, the Nuggets are first. He's averaging 25, 10, and 11, pretty much a triple-double for the season. Hugely, hugely underrated season by him. We're not hearing much about the Nuggets. But I do think they're going to make some rumbles in this offseason. Sorry, in this postseason. I think these guys are going to have a lot of success. Mainly with the fact that MPJ and Jamal Murray are back. Pair that with this monstrous season that Jokic is having. Again, another MVP runner. If he wins it back to back to back, does that push him up? I don't know. But I don't think there's any other place on this list other than number 5 for Nikola Jokic. And I think the majority of people can agree with that. I think he's not quite in that top 4 band of players yet, but he's definitely not in the lower 6 to 10 range. I think 5 is literally bang on and perfect for where Jokic should be. Now we're breaking into the top 4, and I have no arguments with anyone who puts this top 4 in a different way. But this is the way I'm seeing it from this season specifically, and sort of the latter end of last season. I guess we can factor last year's playoffs in too. But at number 4, I have LeBron James. This man is not human, right? He's averaging 30. He's 38 years old. He's averaging 30. He's gonna break the all-time record this year. But I can't put him in the top 3 because the Lakers have been just absolute trash ever since they won the championship in 2020. After that, they've just been pretty irrelevant, even though they've been taking all headlines, which to me doesn't make sense. But yeah, that's literally it. LeBron has to go 4 for me because he's not been able to do the same carrying that he did for Cleveland, which says a lot about his greatness. I think if the Lakers were even a top 5 seed, he'd be top 2, if not the best player still in the NBA at 38, which is insane. But I think LeBron's kind of on his retirement vibes right now. He's going to break this record like it's a joke, and then he's probably going to go play with his son, if I'm honest. But yeah, for the reason of team success, I've put Bron at number 4. Now, at number 3, I think this one people are going to really get at me for. I've got Steph Curry. Obviously, the Warriors, they won the championship last season. They've come into this season about a 500 team. They're the 6th seed right now. I do think now Curry's back, they probably will pick up into the top 3 by the end of the season as long as everyone stays healthy. But I just, based on individual performances and stuff, I can't put Curry above these other 2 guys I have up here. I know I've talked a lot about team winnings and stuff this season. Both of these guys' teams have been winning teams this season, the guys I have ahead of him. The Warriors kind of on a bit of a downslope this year, which again factors into him sort of being 3rd. But again, he's averaging 29. I mean, he's 34 as well, getting on the older side, still doing it though. But yeah, I think these guys are going to have a deep playoff run if everyone's healthy. They'll probably go back to the finals, let's be honest. Steph Curry in playoff mode is top 2 in the world, no doubt. But for this regular season, I'm going to have to put him top 3 at number 3. Number 2, I have the Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's averaging 31 and 12. He's going absolutely crazy this season. The Bucks are the 2nd seed in the East. They're about 4 games behind the Celtics, but they've had injury problems to deal with. I think these guys are going to be fine, to be honest, as long as everyone's healthy for the postseason. It feels like the Bucks are having a bit of a down year because we're so used to them being so like televised, so like headlined. But this year it's not really been all that. I think they'll be fine though. I think Giannis, again, MVP runner, yes and no. I mean, I think my 3 MVPs, I've got Tatum 1, Jokic 2, Durant 3. Maybe Embiid, you can put him in there. But yeah, I'm going to have to put Giannis at 2. I think the difference between him going 1 and 2 is very, very minimal. But based on impact and the way both of these have affected their teams, I'm going to have to put him 2. And number 1 is none other than Kevin Durant, the Slim Reaper. Now, I built this list right before he got injured, so I'm just going to run with this. He's averaging 29. The Brooklyn Nets were like the 1 and 2 seed for a majority of this season before he went down. They are the 4 seed now, but I think when he comes back, if he comes back, I mean, they're saying it's 2 or 3 weeks out and he'll be back to playing, which hopefully is great because we want to see another Kevin Durant in the postseason. We don't want another half season wasted and then messed up because of injury. We want a fully healthy KD. Now, I mean, the Nets, they've solved a lot of their problems. And yeah, I think just off the eye test alone is one you can see he's the best player. Nobody can guard him. He's shooting like insane. You guys can see the splits on the screen right now. 56 from the field, 38 from 3, 29.7 a night. He's just going crazy. I wouldn't argue with putting any of the top 4 in any different order, but this is the way I'm seeing it. And in terms of impact and team success, what they mean to team success, you've seen Kevin Durant and what he means to this Nets team already in the games he's been out, which is why I just have to put him as the best player right now. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe if not already. All my links are in the description down below. And I'll see you guys later.